everyone, and thanks for joining us again. We're here with Tony Uberoi, psychic, and what am I supposed to call you?
Intuitive, medium, soul friend, whatever you want to call me, all fine.
How's your summer going with COVID and all the fun stuff with that?
Well, like everyone else, very thankful that I'm healthy and the family is healthy and we're coping.
Good. So you've been a psychic for a while now, right? How long have
Yes. Actually, just before your call, I was just thinking it's over 42 years now that I've been doing this.
Wow. So you go back a long way then.
Yeah.
So what got you interested in being a psychic? What kind of pushed you over to that side?
Well, I come from a family that was absolutely not interested in all this, and it's a business family. I should call myself the freak. And I don't even know how it happened. At a young age, in my teenage years, I picked up a book on palmistry, seemed to know the subject, started to like it, curiosity, and before I knew it, I got sucked in. And at that time, it was more like an interest and hobby. I did not know that one day it would become my life. I don't call it my livelihood, I call it my life.
Wow, so that's amazing. So you started off with palmistry, and I know you do a little bit of intuitive reading as well.
Not a little bit. So I do astrology, numerology, palms, cards, past life regression, etc., and many more things. Yeah, I do.
So if someone's coming to a reading, what should they expect in, let's say, a half hour or 1 hour session?
Okay. First of all, I pack a lot in my reading and I give a lot of information. So first of all, if they give me the date of birth, I make the astrology and numerology charts, which takes me seconds, not a long time. So I don't waste their time. And then not only about them, I also talk to them about people around them. They can give me names and dates of birth of 2 or 3 other people, so family, friends, etc., because we're not just individuals, we are much more than that. People are always interested to know about relationships, etc. If they give me the just the number of their home or their office, I can connect with that and tell them about the energy there and how it is affecting them positively or negatively. I also answer questions, so specific questions. People have questions. I go in a little bit into their past, talk a lot about the present, and predict about the future. I think it's a very complete reading. In the half an hour, I encourage people to ask more specific questions so that they get the best out of it. In the hour reading, there is more discussion, there's more time, and it is what I would call a fuller session.
Okay. So I know a little bit about the psychic readings and stuff, but tell me a little bit more about numerology. Do you have any stories that you can tell about how numerology kind of affects us day to day?
Well, the 9 numbers are connected to the 9 planets in the solar system, and numerology is an offshoot of astrology. So it takes from astrology as well. Because I do both, I combine them together. So how does it affect us in the day-to-day? So you may not know this, or you do because you've been we've been working together. But there are a lot of people who do not realize that just the number of their home could affect them, or the date they are born on tells everything about them, or even sometimes I just go out when my clients have arrived, and I will tell them, please change your license plate. It's not lucky for you, or what is lucky for you. So uh, ultimately, it has to be in harmony. Harmonizing the numbers is important. There are some numbers which are good for us, and there are some numbers which are not good for us. So there are no unlucky or lucky numbers. They're just harmonizing in our life.
It's amazing. Uh, so I know you've done thousands of readings for people all around the world. Would is there any one story that kind of stands out in your mind that you had an exceptional impact on that person's life with your one of your readings?
Sure. So I've been a resident and later now a citizen of Canada. I'm from India, so I do make my trips occasionally. In one of my trips, many years back, I would say this was about 20 years back, a gentleman came to see me. He was a tax consultant, and he said that he had been a tax consultant for almost 20 years, had really been struggling, and what was wrong? What should he do? And looking at his chart, his palm, his face, that's another thing. I do face reading. So I told him that you're in the wrong profession and you should be selling something connected to ladies, and it should be liquid. And off the cuff, I said something like selling perfume. I'm sure he thought that I was a crazy man telling him all this. Imagine a tax lawyer being told all this. And then I came back to Canada. Unfortunately, my dad suffered a stroke about 9 months later. I went back to India, and whenever I would go there, I would insert advertisements in the local newspaper to attract clients while I was there. And as soon as my ad was released, I got a call from this gentleman, and he said, I just want to see you tomorrow morning. And he came with a big pile of cash and a big bouquet of flowers and chocolates. And I asked him what was the deal. And he said, well, after you told me to go into perfumes, I went back home. I spoke to my wife. She said, well, you've not been doing very well with the tax consulting. So he started to get in touch with the big players. Somehow or the other, he got three big distributorships and was making a huge amount of money when he saw me. So in just 9 months, his life changed.
Wow, that's amazing. So I'm just looking at your background there. I see a bunch of cards. Like normally, most psychics will work with one set of tarot cards. I see you have racks and racks and racks of cards.
Yes, I do. Um, and Salim, you've been to my office several times, and you know this is the third of my collection. I think anything that I do, I like to expand on it, know more about it, etc. And I'm constantly researching and learning. I want to die a student. So why do I have so many cards? Um, when a client comes to my office, I tell them to pick up the decks of cards. And that's after I've done the astrology, numerology, face reading, auras, etc. And to their amazement, most of what I've said again reveals in the card. So that's one of the reasons why I have so many decks. Actually, my collection started when someone like you, a good friend, said to me, um, "You fix the cards." So, in order to prove that I don't fix the cards, I started to make a collection, and this is how I have this collection.
That's amazing. Um, Now, you do a lot of other things as well besides psychic readings. I know you have a new product that you've been kind of developing for a little while.
Yes, the
That's
emotional makeover. You're talking about that,
Yeah,
right?
I know it's
Yeah,
near to your heart. Can you tell me a little bit about that one?
yeah, sure. So it all started with when I would do readings in the past, I would tell people, oh, I pick up a lot of sadness, or I pick up that you're very angry about something, or there is shame or frustration or guilt, and you should do something about it. And they would ask me, what, how, what? And I felt very bad that I did not have the answers for them. And actually, I'm a very sensitive, super sensitive person, which helps me in the intuitive readings, but it also makes me a person who suffers his own pain. And I think I started to look into how can I help them, and certain changes came within me, and it just got developed slowly. And now I've been doing it for over 20 years, the emotional makeover. That's a 3 hour session. It's very in depth. I pull out all the emotional blocks and negatives from my clients and transform it into positive energy in that 3 hour session.
And you find that a lot of clients actually transform their lives going through one of these sessions?
Definitely, definitely, yes, definitely.
Is there any stories that you could share with us without actually
Those
revealing?
are very personal. Those are extremely personal. But I can share one other thing, which is connected to the emotional makeover and my readings, is that somehow or the other this has happened, and I don't want to take credit. I should say the universe helped me with that, and that is somehow or the other it has happened. Several people who were this close to committing suicide chanced to call me or take a reading or the emotional makeover. And I knew this much later. They told me this much later. I'm not trying to show that I'm a suicide helpline. If they had told me, I wouldn't have helped them. I would have told them to go to the helpline. But later on, they told me that we were so blocked, we didn't know what to do. We wanted to just quit. We were depressed, and now all that is gone, and we are happy.
Yeah, that's good. Well, those are some great stories. How about a story that is so odd that it's unbelievable? Do you have any of those? Something
In
crazy?
in in which area? In which area would you say that?
I don't know. Something just makes you laugh. How about that?
Well, honestly, I don't laugh at other people or something like that. But I will say I will tell you a story that amazes me. I was doing a reading at a show like yours in Windsor. This lady walked in, spoke to all the psychics, and when I spoke to her, I said to her, "Whether you take a reading with me or not, we are both going to be friends, and we are going to play a very important role in each other's life." And she thought that it was a ploy for me to get her to take a reading. So she took 3 readings from different psychics, felt that it was not what she was looking for, and then finally came to me and said that you'll have to prove it. And so I did the reading. She was very happy. And then she um, kept in touch with me. We've become family friends for over 15 years. And although we had started a book for due to her health reasons, we did not really complete it. But I have helped her a lot over the years, and she has helped me immensely. So it has gone both ways. And even now, sometimes when she's over, she stays over with us, and we meet her when we go to Windsor, my wife and I. we laugh about it, and she says, I just don't know how it happened. So I don't want to take credit for picking up that only. I'm just going to say the mysteries of life and nature and the universe are just something even the best intuitives cannot truly understand.
Hmm, that's an amazing story. Thanks for sharing that. That's all I have for today. It is always a pleasure talking to you, Tony, and I really want to thank you for your time.
Not at all. Thank you, Salim, and keep up the good work. I hope the Meta shows come back once COVID has gone, and we look forward to that. Thank you for having me on your bandwagon.
Thanks, Tony. Have a good
Take
day.
care.